So if you're wondering why my desk is a chaotic mess, it's because it is. This is a real raw behind the scenes of how I'm enjoying my afternoon, my therapeutic journaling session. This video is actually, I would say, highly requested from a lot of you. I did a community post a few days ago asking what types of video would you like seeing more of other than, moleskin and fountain pen content, and I figured I'd combine all three. Surprisingly, a lot of you guys don't mind the fountain pen stuff, a lot of you guys don't mind the moleskin, and a lot of you guys wanted to see journal with me. So we're doing all three fountain pens. We're journaling about my fountain pen inks in my moleskin, and I'm going to show you a step-by-step kind of like journal session. This was inspired because, as you can see, that's my dog pitter-pattering, by the way, coming in from the yard. But as you can see, I've already started my journal session right here. I have this little scribble note that I grabbed because I am working through what type of fountain pens I want to pair with some new inks that I have. And I was going to do a whole, formal, like nice, clean setup for you guys. But I thought, you know what, might as well just throw this up here because this is just like the randomness that you'll find in my journals. A lot of you guys want to know, what is it that I could be possibly journaling about? And when I say randomness, I literally mean like randomness. My journal spreads are very just kind of free flow. I'll do ink swatches, I'll do a little bit of like life logging here. I've shown this before, like just art journalings, and then let's see. Oh, this is one of my favorites right here. Scribbles, ink test, throw in some paper and nothing. Here's another swatch. So a lot of it is just whatever I'm feeling at the moment. Last night I did some ink swatches from this new, it's not new, but it's new to me. It's the Alchemy brand. And oh my goodness, I really love this bottle. It's like a little potion bottle. This speaks to me. And what's nice about this is how it swivels like that if you put it on the cork stand, which it comes with, or it sinks in here like that where it can lay completely flat. And that is what I pretty much swatched in my journal. I did the Wizard's pencil, which is like a gray. I did a Molten bronze, which comes out to be like this looks like a coffee brown to me. And then Raven blue. Ooh, this looks very, very beautiful. I love the way that this ink turned out, actually better than the way it looked in my Cosmo Air. I was swatching it on both journals here. And next thing you know, like hours went by. This is like the geeky stuff that I enjoy doing on my downtime. I just like to journal, play around with paint or inks. Okay, you see this Raven blue? I mean, they both look beautiful. The Cosmo Air, you could see it's a little bit more of a, I would say it leans more blue. And then on my moleskin paper, which of course we know that the moleskin paper is not intended for fountain pen inks, but it leans a little bit more on the, what would you say? Oh, I can't explain it. It's more like gray. I don't know if you could see. It's beautiful either way. I love it. This is more like black. Yeah, it leans more like black blue, and this leans more like blue, as you can see. And then all the other colors pretty much showed up the same here. Smokescreen. I'm going to play around with, sesame oil. Oh yeah, I picked up this ink because I saw it was back in stock. I got this, where did I get these inks? I got the Alchemy, I think, on jetpens.com, and then the Lennon toolbar brand I found on Yoseka's website. Sesame oil. It's very light, but it's very true to its name. It comes out like literally like a sesame oil color. So what am I doing today with all this mess that surrounds me? I am brainstorming what pens I want to re-ink with which ink. And I did not want to do it on my journal because I have some swatches that I want to continue on with. So I didn't want to break the cycle here. And I just grabbed a scratch pad, and this is what I'm going to write about, but I am going to stick it in my journal. And this is just, again, this is just what I do, randomness. That's why I don't really show journal with me, is because I feel like my journal sessions aren't really traditional or conventional. It's not like Dear Diary. It's more just like, I saw this movie, it was awesome, or quick recipe that I found, a quote that I heard, right? It's just like random snippets that just are compiled on the piece of paper that look like a long form journal spread. Okay, see, like this is another example of what my journal spreads look like. I need to update you guys on my hobonichi weeks because I've been getting some questions about this. Yeah, this surprisingly turned into like my micro journal, but okay, we're not here about this. We're going to do my ink pairings. The Raven Blue turned out beautiful on this Hobonichi Weeks Sanzin paper. I like the way it crinkles and it sounds. The Smokescreen looks beautiful. And so now I'm working through what pens do I want these inks in, because I want to see how these inks perform in an actual writing tool versus using like a glass nib. And it worked out in perfect timing because these are like my daily writers. And yes, I literally will pick these up, every day or every other day. You'd be surprised. So the Kakuno and my gin house, I take, out and about to work, running errands. And then like my Twisbees, they stay at home. And I'll scribble with them in like my Midori notebook, my Commonplace, and in my Hobonichi Weeks. But my Kakuno, the cartridge ran out. And again, this was like perfect timing for me. I want to clean this out, but now this is the fun part. So I'm like, yay, I get to figure out what pens or what inks to ink these up with. So I had to order a new fountain pen case because you may know and you may have realized that my collection has grown since 2025, since January. It has grown unexpectedly with my Kakunos. I have some, where are my other? Oh yeah, my Kakunos, and then my gin house. I love these gin house. Actually, the gin house and the Meijan. Yeah, I'm just loving all these little budget, fun fountain pens. So second round, okay, because I already inked these up once, and now I'm excited to see what to experiment with. I've accumulated a lot of samples from Truffet. I'll link their website down below, but I found their value per mil to be really competitive. The average, I think, depending on the brand, but I'll get like 5 mil. I mean, look how like they fill it up there. This will be about like $4, $3.50, $4, maybe sometimes $5, but I still think it's pretty, this is a good amount of ink. It may not look like a lot if you are new to fountain pens, but you could probably get a good like 3 or 4 fills with a ink cartridge here. Because what is that, 5 mils? And then, okay, sorry, I'm getting off topic here, my ADHD mind. Sorry guys, I'm gonna get back to the writing session, but this is, I think this comes out to be like 1 mil. When I use my syringe, I think it's 1 mil. I fill it up, and then when I put it in there, this is 1 mil. So you can get 5 if you use a pilot cartridges. You can get like 5 fills for $5 or 3 or 4 or $4.50, however much the brand is that you get. So that's why, I was happy to find Truffet.com. I never heard of Truffet. I've never heard of anyone mentioning them. I just did, honestly, I found them because I was Googling this pilot, the Xiangyo yeah, I saw how beautiful this looked, and I really wanted it because I fell down the Pilot rabbit hole and with this capless, and I knew that was like the newest ink, but everyone was like selling out. So I fell into like the FOMO, the fear of missing out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe this ink is so beautiful. Maybe, there's a reason why it's selling out. And a couple of days I wasn't able to find this. And then finally, I just, I didn't give up. One day I just Googled it again, and I found that True Fae had it. So that's the backstory of how I discovered that website. The search engine led me to their website. I got this bottle, but I figured, you know what, let me look around, and I saw that they offered samples. And that's actually how I discovered that they sold samples, because they offered the 5 mil as a sample. And then this was the last bottle left. So I quickly threw in like just some brands I was familiar with, like J. Herbin and Diamine and Robert Oster and Pilot, and here we are. So today I am looking at, the inks I need to clean out, so my kakunos, but what is going to pair well with these inks that I have. And I want to start with the Alchemy. So this Raven Blue, I was torn between, I have this kind of, what is this color? I forgot what this color was from the new Sleepy line. This isn't their blue. They call it something, because this is their light blue, and they have a dark blue, which I don't have. And then, I think they consider this their brown, which was weird. Yeah, this is their brown. And I thought I could pair it with this. And then I have the gray that I just put this Kaveco clip on. And I thought, maybe I could use this. But I'm going to hold this for something else. But then I discovered, the Jinhao 82. And this is a volcano gray. Right now I have this inked with my Cacao do Brazil, which is a beautiful ink, by the way. And it's running out because I've been using it so much. And to show you how it looks, it is, where is it? Oh, jeez. I'm still working on my proper swatch cards, but this is a perfect match. This is a great ideal match. And as tempting as it is to re-ink this, I think I'm going to, I want to try other colors. So I think what I'm going to do is, but I kind of like with Smokescreen. See, that's why I had my scratch pad here. Okay, let's break this down, because this is how I would work through this process. So for my new fountain pen pairings, I have the Pilot Bamboo ink, the Taki Sumi, or I think it's called like charcoal bamboo. It's basically a black, but not as black. The ink that I'm currently using right now is as my daily black. It's right here, this one. It's a bamboo charcoal. But I have my Heart of Darkness in this extra fine Maison click pen. But we all know with Noodler's ink, which is the brand Noodler's, it bleeds through just like everyday paper. And I made the mistake of using this at work, and it bled through some of the paperwork I was using. So I thought, oh no, let me switch it out. So I'm going to switch this out because I have a little bit left. I can tell because it's starting to skip, not because of the nib, but because I could tell I'm running out of ink. So that's where I put Pilot Bamboo ink. I want it in a black pen, and I want it in this because I like this. I don't know if you could see the design here, these little facets. So I'm going to put this in my Maison, and this is just my checklist, so that way I can stay on task here. And then next, so this is the Pilot ink. And then this color right here, I did a swatch card on, and this came out very interesting, this Diamine Salamander. I want to experiment with this outside of just painting, because I did a paint swatch. And it looks like this. and it's hard to tell. Like, it looks like a dusty, dirty green, murky green. But again, it depends on like what type of paper you're going to use. And I'm going to put it in this one, my TWSBI. This is my extra fine. So for the diamine, I don't like how scratchy this is. Let me go back to, see, this is like running out of ink. I'm going to put this off to the side. We're going to use my very first love, the TWSBI 580. By the way, maybe I need to do some research, or maybe some of you may know. Okay, I realized this past week, like this part right here, the grip, I don't know if you could see, it swivels. You see that? Can you see? It turns. I don't know what happened. Is it like, I thought maybe like this part was loose, and then I was unscrewing this and I was like, wait a second, why is the grip part rotating? I don't think it's supposed to rotate. So I don't know if that, am I missing the rubber grip? Okay. Oh wait, you know what? Yeah, so anyway, I thought that was interesting because now sometimes when I grip it, I can feel it moving a little bit. But either way, she's still my first love. So I still love my TWSBIs. They never dry out, and they always write when I need them to, even if I haven't used them for a couple of days or even a couple weeks. Like this Vert Empire, I rarely reach for this, but the once a week that I do, it writes up right away. So the Diamine Salamander for this green, I'm just, I want to, put this in the glow, it's called the, let me see, the TWSBI, this is the extra fine, and it's the glow green. And then, so we'll put this off to the side. I like this J. Herbin, the Gris de Houle. I really liked how it came out on my Cosmo Air, and I thought this would really look nice in this pilot, the Kakuno. This is their, I think it was like their white or their cream. Anyways, from their new line. I'm going to try that. But I was also thinking of, I finally need to ink this up. I know I've been lagging on that. I need to use this Prera. I got this and I just neglected. Yeah, ever since I came across the capless, it's like I forgot about her. So I want to ink this up. Okay, we'll come back to. I do want to use a Prera, but okay, we'll come back to this. It's still pending. My thoughts are still pending on that. So the Alchemy, the new inks here, for the, okay, right here, for the Molten Bronze. Okay, the Molten Bronze, I know I want to put it in this. This is the newest, I call it coffee. Like in my journals, I'll say Jinhao coffee because it reminds me of coffee, which I think they should have just called it that. But it's actually called caramel orange. So Jinhao calls this their caramel orange. And by the way, some of you have messaged me saying like, oh, did you know, Michelle, that that's off the whiskey, the pilot whiskey, like limited edition color? And I looked it up and oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. But you know what? Truth be told, I think I like this colorway better than the whiskey because the whiskey, from what I've seen, it leans a little dark. It's more like a dark brown, and this leans into like a warm golden brown, which I like this. Yeah, I much prefer this. So for me, I think this is a win. So with this color, I want to try the Molten Bronze. I almost thought about inking my TWSBI Eco with, or not my Eco. Oh yeah, this is the Eco, the TWSBI Bronze, Eco Bronze with this, but I know I've been using this lately, so I want to see how this Alchemy ink works. So I'm just explaining my thought process behind this journaling here. Okay, so this is the Alchemy, I'll just call it bronze because I know which color that is. And this is going to go in the Jinhao. the Jinhao 10. Again, I call it coffee because I know which one that is. And instead of writing caramel orange, that's too long. I'm just going to call it coffee because in my mind, it's coffee. So that's going to be inked up. Okay, so let me so these are the 3 I'm going to clean out and ink out. You know, this Vert Empire, I've had this for like over like 5 months. I've had it over 5 months. I don't like I got the extra fine because I think at the time that was I wanted to experiment with an extra fine, but it has Vert Empire and I don't like J. Arbonne and extra fine. So I'm curious to see how Diamine ink will work because in my Benu pens, they come out like very wet and juicy. So I might like this extra fine when using my hobonichi weeks because I don't mind using thinner nibs on this type of paper because it kind of like slips and slides around. So we have these. Let me set aside. And again, like I'm a visual person, so I need to see all of my friends, my pen friends out right here. Did I mention I have a new pen case coming, by the way? Yes, I have it. Amazon, it should be coming tomorrow. And I think I need a proper, like I've clearly outgrown like this little pen case and then my Galen leather pen cases. And yeah, if I would have known that my collection would have grown, I definitely would have reached for a larger pen case when given the choice. Now for the Raven, okay, the Raven Blue. I want to use it in this TWSBI Iris, but I don't reach for the TWSBI as much because I'm enjoying these pilots, the Kakunos and the Jinhaos. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to ink it with this. Or I could do Smokescreen. Okay, you know what? Let's do that. Let's change. Okay, we're going to do that. I want to try. Smokescreen is not the Alchemy brand. It's, where was it? Oh, did I show you guys this? Yeah, this is my newest bottle. Smokescreen, Robert Oster. So I'm going to do Smokescreen. You know, excuse my sloppy handwriting. Like this is just for my reference only. I'm just showing you guys the process. I'm going to put it in my Jinhao 10. Oh, no, this is the Jinhao 82, and it's in a fine nib. I'll just, volcano gray. Little note to self so I know which body. I'm going to hold off on the sesame oil. It's a little too light. But let's go back to the Raven Blue. The Raven Blue. All right, so looking at my collection right here, I'm going to assign this color. You know what? Let's go with the Pilot Kakuno, the clear one. So I'm going to do Pilot Kakuno, and this is a fine nib, and I'm going to say clear. Okay. And then what other color was that it? Oh, Wizard's Pencil. Okay, you know what? I can ink up this. I'll finally use the Prera. I'll finally ink it up because some of you wanted to know like my thoughts on it. But the reason why I wasn't in a rush to ink it up was because you guys said that the nibs are the same as the Kakunos. So is this a medium? Oh, this is a medium. This is a fine. Yeah, so the nibs are the same. And I figured, well, why get this, inked up when I'm enjoying the size of the Kakunos more. But, I don't mind this. Okay, let me think. I also wanted to switch out Sailor Seki because this Sailor ink has been in here forever. Yeah, actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this because I don't like dry inks. And even though this TWSBI is a medium nib, to me, it writes kind of like a fine. And that's when I realized that, yeah, ink brands, they do matter. There is a difference. So this is going to be inked up with Wizard's Pencil. And I'm gonna put this in the Twisby. This is a medium. I'm gonna say my white. This is the rose gold. Yeah, the white one. I'll know which one I'm referring to. Okay, and then I actually have my, I was going to use my wizard pencil in this Kakuno in the gray, but again, I am pretty familiar with the Kakuno nibs, so I want to see how this gray color will come out in a bolder, in a thicker nib. But I am going to, let me see, the molten bronze. Okay, I do want to try, I want to jump into my pilot again, the pilot capless, because I really did enjoy this. And I am actually, I do have plans on attending a pen convention this year, and I want to get familiar with like brands that are going to be there. And while I'm very familiar with Jinhao, I don't think Jinhao is going to be at these pilot conventions or at these pen conventions. And a lot of you guys are still urging me to try the E95S and the 742. But I don't know if I want to invest in that if I'm not familiar with pilots and their actual like nibs. So this is a fine, but I want to use it in a different color outside of the black ink cartridge that I did originally, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to use a pilot ink, and I want to use the Seonggyo. I want to see how it actually I was kind of thinking about using it in my Jinhao, but no. Okay, I'm gonna put the Seonggyo in the pilot capless. This is like, I'm gonna say mustard, even though I think they call it like their yellow color, but I call it mustard. So it's my collection. I know, which color I'm referring to. And so far, what are we working with, guys? I think that is, 7. Okay, I have 7 pens. And then the ones that are, let me cap this up. This is currently inked with Ink of Witch by Bungu Box, if you're curious. It's like a dark purple black, but as you can see, it's looking more black. Let me see. I think for now, I'm going to, I really want this gray. Okay, you know what? Let's write this down. Let's do the pilot Kakuno in the white. I'm going to try this Herbin, the Gris de Houle. Did I show you how it looks, by the way? Pilot Kakuno, and I'm gonna say white. Did I show you? It's a beautiful, it reminds me like a snowstorm. It's funny because my ink log, I remember this is all like in not alphabetical order, but it's all in chronological. Well, it's all in order, based off of like the time that I got ink swatches. So like my brain, the way it works is like I remember, okay, yeah, in the beginning I had like these certain inks, and then 2025, like now I know like which inks I got. So I know this is towards the back. It's just the way my brain is working. Oh, this is Diamine Snowstorm. That's pretty. So this Gris de Houle, it kind of is giving me Earl Grey vibes, but I want to see how it compares. So I'm going to put it in this pen. This is going to be inked up. And this Diamine, what's it called? Dimeson? Diamine. Did I swatch that? I think I did. Diamine. Let me see. It's a purple. I don't know if I want a purple. I'm gonna go with because right now I have this inked in Lady Rose by Ferris Wheel Press. No, I don't like it. It's too light, and I want to use this beautiful pink color, especially in this month of February. Oh my gosh, speaking of pink, you guys, I was going to say this for a new video, but if you made it this far, I'll give you a little tease. Okay, I'll give you a little preview. Are you surprised? I have another Jinhao. It's a little Valentine's Day gift, self-love gift to myself. And this I got on AliExpress, but you know I'm a sucker for like gold and rose gold details. This is a beautiful like champagne pink color. Oh wow, it's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah, took about 12 days to get here, but it finally came, and I'm just waiting for like the perfect pen. I don't need to ink this up right away, but this is a nice feminine color, and I thought it was very beautiful. I just needed it. Again, these are very budget friendly. I think this was like $13 or maybe $15. It's very elegant looking, you guys, and it's very hefty. So if you want to gift this to someone or maybe gift it to yourself, you will not be disappointed. I just love these Jinhaos, if you couldn't tell already. So I like this color, and I did not see this on Amazon. So I actually had to get this on, this is a fine nib, but yeah, I had to get this on AliExpress. So that's a sneak peek of what I'm going to show in these upcoming videos. Now, this is going to go with, I think I have Robert Oster Claret. The sample's in my box, which I don't have right here at the moment. I think this is what I'm going to ink it with. Yeah. I'm liking Robert Oster. Well, so I think, because so far I've had good luck with my Cafe Crema. I'm always raving about this combo, Cafe Crema with the Twisby Cafe the bronze. I love it in the medium nib. I'm sure it'll be beautiful and fine, because all my other Twisbys, like this one is my daily writer. That's a fine, and I love it. And then my Cacao de Brazil in my Jinhao. I love the Robert Oster ink with that. Yeah, so let's try Claret. All right, we're gonna go with that. I don't have any more room on here, so I'm just gonna squeeze it. I'm gonna just squeeze it down here on the bottom. And yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, you guys. This is what I would do on my downtime, just writing randomness and geeking out about stuff that normal people don't, like pens and inks and stationery obsessions. Pilot, I shouldn't even say pilot. I should just put Kakuno, because I know I'm going to say Kakuno, very tight. Like, what is that? My handwriting. Kakuno, I'm going to say Kakuno pink. Yeah. Oh, okay. And this is going to be in another video, but some of you are going to catch that I am in a moleskin, and you may be wondering, like, how is this fountain pen friendly paper? Because moleskin is not known to be fountain pen ink friendly paper, and yeah, I get it, but this is one of my, what I would call as like my unicorn paper, where it actually holds up very well with fountain pen inks. And let me show you. Let me use an ink that people are familiar with. All of them are pretty much low though. Well, anyway, I showed you in the front right here. In the front, yeah, there's no bleed through, no feathering. I mean, this isn't like an official thing. This is just a Michelle's theory. But so far, based off my experience, I have realized that 85% of the unicorn, like it's 85% likely that you'll come across a unicorn moleskin is if you get the blank page. The blank page, okay, because my expanded, I like the blank, because as you can see, I can write in it, but then I can also like art journal in it. It's very versatile. Or I can like, journal in it if I like needed to. But I noticed, hold on, blank pages, and then there's also, okay, so I thought I was lucky for 2024. I thought like, okay, maybe that's just a 2024 thing. And again, I'm going to do this in a whole new video, but you guys are getting like the sneak peek. So I went on Amazon because, I have a few Amazon credits from the holidays. I think that's like a safe gift. Everyone just gives you Amazon gift cards, which I'm thankful for. I'm so thankful for, because none of my friends or family, they could never guess. They would never think to buy me something like this, right? Like I feel like in our niche, we are very, not particular, but we're just so unique. No one would think, oh, Michelle wants this Pilot Kakuno pen. Like, who would think that? And I'm based here in the United States, where stationery and good quality stationery is not readily available or accessible. So we don't have all of like these nice stationery stores like maybe in like Europe or in Asia. We have just like Staples, Home Depot, or not Home Depot, Office Max, Target, like things like that. But that's more catered to like businesses. So they sell like printer paper and, you know, staples, things like that. That's why I'm excited to go to like an official pen show, because I want to see like more brands. I want to be exposed to like other options. But yeah, my friends and family, they would have never known. They would never even know that ink vial samples exist. They wouldn't even, I don't even think, truth be told, I mean, outside of like my immediate family, like if my coworkers and if my friends, if they never knew about my hobby, I honestly, okay, I'm going to be honest, because I was once there too, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I don't even think that they think fountain pen like exists here in the United States, at least, because we don't see it being used on a regular basis. We were not raised using fountain pens. I'm a millennial, okay, so I can only speak for like my generation. The newer generation for sure not. No, they don't even know. I don't even think they're being taught how to write cursive. I think we're like the last generation. But even when we were learning how to write in cursive, it was just ballpoint pens, and I did not even know how to use a fountain pen until 2020. Okay, until 2020. I did not even know they still manufactured fountain pens, to be honest, because you don't see them out in the wild. You don't see them at your Walmart or Target. And yeah, so anyway, I went on Amazon. I wanted to see if I was going to have luck. You guys, I sure did. I did an ink test like I do with all of my journal pages, and you know, the ink, I don't know if you can tell, but the color saturation is pretty accurate. Can you tell? Yeah, it's pretty accurate. And you can even see right here on the back. I don't know if you can. Well, that's the thing. You can't see because there's no bleed through. There's no bleed through. There's no feathering. I lucked out. So I realized, okay, it for me, at least in my experience, when I go on Amazon, okay, because Barnes & Noble, they don't have the soft cover blank. They have a lot of hardcover ruled, which some of my friends, you guys messaged me on Instagram saying like, you haven't had any luck with that. And I'm sorry to hear that, but I go on Amazon. Yeah, Amazon, because I'm not paying retail price for these. These are like $20 for 400 pages. But I went to Walmart. Did you guys know that Walmart has moleskine, by the way? Mine does. And I think it's a new thing. But I was able to go, and my theory, okay, it's been debunked. My theory was if you get a moleskine that says forestry, then it's going to be solid. It will hold up. But no, that's not the case. Okay, so I'm just going to say that right now. That's not the case, because a lot of you guys were flooding my messages and showing me that was false, which I'm thankful for. Thank you. Because, you know, we need to crack this code together. And a lot of you were saying like, oh, if it's made in Vietnam, then it's good to go. That's not the case either, because it could be made in Vietnam with ruled or grid paper and it still not perform. Trust me, I know from personal experience. I've had some made in China and they work pretty good too. However, what I'm going to say, and this is the code that I'm still going to go off of. When I was at Walmart, they had the blank. They don't have the blank expanded, unfortunately, but they had this, the regular 192 pages. And this purchase was an experiment. I did not need this, but I wanted to just see if maybe my theory was correct, that so far it seems to be with blank moleskine pages, it's holding up well with dark gel inks and fountain pen inks, and it has been proven good so far. The one that I went with was Vietnam. They had one that said Ecuador, and I noticed that like the belly band here was a little bit lighter. And again, from my planner friends that have messaged me and emailed me, no, you guys said do not get the Ecuador one. none of you guys had a good Ecuador one. So I don't know if that's, if that's a solid thing to go off of or to stand on. But I would say for now, for me personally, yeah, okay, I'm not going to go with a moleskin that's made in Ecuador. So this ticked all the boxes based off my experience. Made in Vietnam. Even if it said China, I still would have gotten this. But because it says forestry and it has the 8 squares, or I'd say like the 9, like 3, 6, 9 with the M, like this, and it's blank. Okay, that's the key. It's blank. I took a risk. Now Walmart, they will price match if you do find them at a lower price. They don't price match Amazon, unfortunately, but they will price match their own website if it's sold and shipped by Walmart. I'm sorry, by Walmart. It cannot be on the Walmart website, but sold by a third party. And you can see that down below when you are scrolling. It'll say like sold by Walmart, or it'll say like sold by Seaweed Kisses Incorporated, something like that. Okay. And yes, the cashiers will check. So I was able to price match this. Retail price, I think, was like $21, but I was able to price match it for like $16, which that's why I go with the expanded, because you get like 300 more pages. Anyway, I took this home and I did the ink test, and you guys, this is unicorn paper. No bleed through, no feathering. Yeah, so I mean, I'm happy that it was a win for me. I was very nervous because I was thinking like, man, for the price of this, I could have got more, but that's where I stand for now. So if anyone asks me what is my tip on finding good moleskin quality paper, I can only speak on blank pages. Go for the blank expanded and make sure it says forestry. Or if you go for the blank standard, I still say go make sure it says forestry and it has these these squares. I know all this hassle for a moleskin. Trust me, you guys. I know. There's just something about this paper, and I will preface this again, the price, the value. Okay, this is $20 for 400 pages. I write a lot, I journal a lot, and honestly, like now that I found this unicorn paper, I love the way that fountain pen inks look on this. This is holding up better than my hobonichi. Okay, not to throw salt into the wound, but hobonichi is not having a good year because, or I shouldn't say it's just hobonichi. I think it's a lot of companies that are using that new Sanzin paper, and but I invested in the hobonichi brand. yeah, I wanted to fall in love with the cousin. I had some journal friends that we were going to like do some journal challenges together, and wow, my cousin, the A5 size, was bleeding through, and I was making a joke like, wow, my moleskin is holding up. My moleskin turned out to be the winner this year. The Leuchtturm, okay, this is a size that I really like, the B6 Plus. You know what I noticed? I mean, yes, this is a safe bet. If you don't like moleskin paper, or if you don't want to, risk your hard-earned money on experimenting with this, then get the Leuchtturm. They do have blank, and I am aware of that. For me, again, though, if the moleskin if it turns out to be crappy paper quality, I don't mind, for me personally, because I come from the ballpoint world. My first love, when I connected with this journal, I was only using ballpoint in dark gel, so I will find a way around these. I can paint over them, and the less precious the pages are, the more I create, so it's not a problem for me. But if you know that you want to invest in like good quality and you want your pages to look very nice and hold up very well, you can't go wrong with the Leuchtturm. The only thing, this is not like a good or bad thing, it's just a thing that I noticed, is that the fountain pen, the inks come out a lot darker and bolder. It's almost like when I put the pen on here, or the ink, it like drinks it up, and not enough to like cause bleed through. This ghosting is pretty strong though, but it is enough to notice that certain colors show up a lot darker, like this cafe crema. I know you can't tell, but it's noticeable. Again, it's not bad. It's not good. It's just, it is what it is. Okay, here, these aren't exactly in order, but I don't know if you could see my moleskin. The colors come out a little, like a tad. Okay, if we look at the crema, like this comes out like a tad brighter than the Leuchtturm. And then, let me see, like the new Ancient Copper. Is that Ancient Copper? No, that's Ochre. Let me see. Where did oh, Sailor Seki. That's where I really noticed it. Okay, so Sailor Seki usually is like a light lilac color, like a gray lilac. And I can even see a little bit of the green undertone. But on my Leuchtturm, like it sucked that that Sailor ink up. Like this came out like dark. I don't even recognize that ink. I'm like, whoa, Sailor Seki is looking like a bold, like purple. And even like my Vert Empire is coming out darker. So just subtle, just it's subtle. The ghosting, it's not bad, but I did notice it. Like, wow, this is I can pretty much read everything. Yeah, I can, like, even right here, I can pretty much read everything that I wrote. Whereas on this unicorn paper, let me see, okay, on this page, you can't really, it's not as dark. Okay, sorry I keep holding up these weird angles. Anyway, and now I'm just going off like in a ramble state. So I'm going to cut the video off here. Okay, see, can you guys tell the difference? Let me just, I don't know if my camera, okay, you can tell just right here, the way I have it laid out. You can see the writings on the Leuchtturm, and then the moleskin, you can't see it as much. So now that I know that moleskin is capable of having good quality paper, I'm like hooked. I feel like and it's like I'm addicted. I'm always looking for like the next one, but I have enough to last me. All right, thanks for hanging out with me in this little random writing session. I'm going to clean these out, and hopefully in the next video we can hang out and I can give you my impressions on how these write. But oh, I am so excited for my Alchemy inks. If you are enjoying a particular ink or pen or notebook, let me know. And I know you've been wanting to, for my hobonichi lovers, a lot of you guys have been asking me for an update on that. And yeah, I can't give you one on my cousin because I'm not using it. I am enjoying my weeks though. I do use this as just like a micro journal where I'll just write snippets of the day and just do random, like tests right here. And from what I understand, the paper with hobonichi has been inconsistent as well. On my weeks, it's good. On my A6, it's good. On my cousin, it's not good. Let me know what your experience has been. But thanks for hearing me yap about randomness, and I'll see you guys later. Hope you're having a good day. Bye.